Hey peeps, welcome back to the 10-day quick cash challenge. Hope you're doing super well and you had an amazing weekend. So quick review. Day 1 was all around goal setting. Day 2, 5-level expenses. Day 3, saving cash. Day 4, the millionaire mindset and habits. Day 5 was looking at the power of compounding interest, the 8th wonder of the world. And then day 6 and 7 on the weekend, we gave you the fire sale, which was to clean up the house, get super clear on what you've got, what you need and what you don't, donate, bin it, or sell it. Day 8 is the 4 currencies and living your best life. And this is going to be a really powerful and transformational experience for you today because it's about getting clear on where you're going in life. I'm a real avid believer that if you don't know where you're going, chances are you're going to get lost. Many of you probably feel lost right now, particularly financially. So let's have a look at this. The 4 currencies are money, time, passion, and location. Let me jump into these. Number 1, money. Most people only consider this to be the only currency. In fact, it's not. It's only one of the 4. But obviously, we put such a huge emphasis on it, it's easy to be blinded by this. So the question I have for you is, how much money would it cost you to live your best life? Not just the life you have right now, that's obvious, that's what you're making and spending right now, but how much would it cost you to live your best life? And consider all your wants, your needs, and your desires, and then add them up, and how much do you actually need? You know, when Ash and I did this, we did this on one of our first dates. I think it was actually our first date. And we were in Bali. And we looked at our best life and how much would it cost us to have our best life. And as a result of that, we pulled it together and it was about $1 million. That's how much it would cost us to live our very best life. And that was for us, that was also taking into consideration things like kids and travel and work and a life beyond where we were currently. So I know that we need about $1 million a year in personal income to have that best life. Now, in order for us to do that, our business needs to be at a point where we're making substantive enough money so that we can pay ourselves that type of a wage, or at least have access to that type of money. And so it's important to have a goal. And so I want you to get clear on how much do you need to live your best life. Money's only one of the 4 though. So once you've got clarity around money, the next one is time. You're making twice as much but working 3 times as long is actually going backwards. So how much time are you willing to dedicate to your work and income generating activities? And then also, what would you do with the other time? I don't believe in a combination of work and life. I believe it's all the same thing. So for me, I'm willing to dedicate all of my life to all the things that I do because I'm willing to make that happen. Now, income generating activities is only part of what I do in terms of my overall life, but I love traveling, so I find ways to make money while I travel. I love speaking and sharing and training, so I find ways of making money doing that. And so it's all about living this sort of dynamic combination between living and loving and earning and making money. But for you, if you're in a job right now and you enjoy that job, you want to do that more, or if you want to have, just be able to leverage what you're already doing, how much time do you actually want to spend to generating money? A lot of people want to spend less time doing their jobs and more time doing other things. And what I would say to you is, if you're in that position, you're in the wrong job. Not because you should work all the time, but rather because if you're in a position where you want to work less, it's saying to me that you're actually doing things that you would prefer to be doing other things. How can we make money doing those other things and have a greater level of harmony and alignment between your work and your life? Number 3 is passion. I know a lot of people that make a lot of money and only do it a little bit of their life, but they're not passionate about it. They don't light themselves on fire. They're not getting up early and wanting to stay up late. So what lights you on fire? What makes you want to get up early and stay up late? What do you live for? If you could do anything, what would you do? And that's the 3rd currency, which is passion. And then finally, location. We all love to travel. I'm sure that you love going on holidays and trips and vacations, right? But living in another country is often far cheaper than it would cost to live in Australia. And so consider how much it would cost you to live in luxury in Bali, in Thailand, Greece, or even New Zealand. Where would you like to spend the majority of your life? Because you can make your dream life in terms of a cost can drop by up to a tenth, down to a tenth of the actual original value. For me to live my best dream lifestyle, it might cost me $1 million in Australia. It probably won't cost me more than 200 or 250,000 if I wanted to do it in Bali. If I wanted to go to places in Europe, it might cost me far less. If I wanted to do that dream lifestyle in New York City, it probably cost me a little bit more. So it's all relative to wherever you are. Also, as well, I know people that make a lot of money, but they have to spend most of their life living and working on the mines. There's nothing wrong with that if you love that, but if you don't love that, then you're constantly trading that sort of money and time and location to be able to try and get some sort of arbitrage. And so it's just important to consider that as well. Do you want to live in Australia? or New Zealand, or if you're watching this from the European Union or the United States or the UK, where do you want to live? And where could you live as well? And if you learn to travel the world, in many cases, if you're learning to travel the world, you're often in a position where you're tax exempt as well, particularly if you spend the majority of your time overseas. So these are all factors that you really need to consider and really, get clear on for your family and for yourself. And so this is the axes of your life. You've got money, time, passion, and location. And I want you to consider, of the four, what do you value highest, second, third, and fourth, and that's going to determine where you would plot yourself on these axes. Now, no one's exclusively one or the other, and look, we all want to master and have an abundance of money and time and passion and location, but ultimately, life is a series of values conflicts, and if you're not clear on them now, it's going to always hold you back. What are you more driven by? If you're not making the money that you want to make right now, but you've got a part-time job, well, then it's clear that time's more important than money. If you're not making a lot of money but you're doing what you love, then clearly passion's more important than money and time. If you are living in the best country in the world but you're struggling to get by and you're not willing to change that, then the reality is probably location is very important to you. So I want you to plot and consider, where are you on this axis? For me personally, I'm constantly doing what I love. I'm making great money and I'm traveling the world and I keep coming back to Australia. Now that costs me a huge amount. Why? Because of the fact that we have all of our family here. So location's a really important part for me. If I wanted to do this business, I could make a shitload more and travel a lot less if I was doing it in another country with a bigger population and a more dynamic population relative to my work. But the reality is I love doing it in this country and I love living in WA, so that's why I live here. But there's no economic sense. It actually goes against all the other three, because of the location. So here's the exercise for today. I want you to do a writing exercise. And I want you to imagine waking up 10 years from now. And what does your best life look like? Where are you living? What are you doing? Who's in your team? What are your circumstances? And what's important to you and in the world? Okay? Fill that in and then post it up. Now, just to let you know, we spend 3.5, maybe 4 hours going through this exercise in real depth in a program called Self-Mastery to help get you clarity on where you're going in your life and help you really navigate towards your goals and dreams. And if you're doing these exercises, by the way, and you're in a poor emotional state, you're not surrounded by positive and great people, if you don't have someone to stretch you and pressure you and test you and challenge you to want to go to the next level, you're always going to aim low. And remember that Les Brown once said it so beautifully. He says the number one reason why people fail in life is not because they aim too high and they hit. It's because aim too high and they miss. It's because they aim too low and they hit. The worst thing that you could do is set a goal for 10 years of your life that's too small and then achieve it and go, what else could I have accomplished and achieved because this was a little bit too easy. Good luck and God bless, guys, on the journey. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 9 of the, I think day 9? Yeah, I think it's day 9 of the Quick Cash Challenge. Cheers, guys.